course I can spoil the Bee Movie for you. This movie is literally about a bee that gets held captive by a sadistic human being who forces him to perform sadistic acts in order for him to be kept alive in her cult called the Human Hive. The Bee Movie, full spoilers, here we go. The movie starts off with a bee named Barry who just graduated from culinary school. His mentor Adam is excited for Barry to cook up honey for everyone for the rest of his pathetic 30-day lifespan, but Barry has other sticky dreams in mind and wants to pursue only bees for a living, aka corn. So Barry decides to ditch the colony in order to get his stinger up. Barry runs into this woman named Vanessa who he could see helping him with his career. Not like that, you sickos. He just wanted to know if she could give him a small loan of $1 million. But instead she captures him and holds him captive with her husband Ken. Barry is terrified and begs Vanessa to let him go, but Vanessa reveals to Barry that Barry is now a part of her cult called the Human Hive against his will, and Barry has to witness the initiation ceremony. Vanessa turns the glass that Barry is trapped in order to face the window, where Barry can see an elder bee named Jeff who mysteriously disappeared from his colony a few days ago. Barry watches in horror as he watches the elder bee drop from the window into the street and goes kaput. As Barry screams in terror, Vanessa calms him and tells him it's all just a part of the natural life process of the cult, allowing elder bees to end their 30-day lifespan with purpose. Barry realizes that Jeff had been brainwashed by Vanessa's cult and knows he needs to get out as soon as possible. Following the ceremony, Vanessa forces Barry to consume another bee who is trapped in the cult, threatening to put an end to Barry if he chooses not to. Meanwhile, Barry witnesses Vanessa's husband Ken capture a wild praying mantis. The praying mantis screams in terror as him and Barry overhear the human couple talking about some sort of sacrifice that will happen involving the mantis. Now, before Barry had been captured by Vanessa, he had shared with her that he went to culinary school, so she uses that information to her advantage and forces Barry to make honey for her, and when he refuses, she decides to put him underwater. Vanessa animalistically consumes the honey that Barry makes for her, claiming that it makes her and the Human Hive more powerful, and that every time she eats it, she gets closer and closer to becoming the queen bee. Following Vanessa's meal, she tells Barry that it's time for the final ceremony. Barry watches as Vanessa and her husband take the mantis, unalive the mantis, and then proceed to take all of the innards out, and tell Barry that it's time for him to get inside of the mantis suit so that he can be sacrificed and ignited inside of it, so that Vanessa can finally become the queen bee. In desperation, Barry tries to rizz up Vanessa and tells Vanessa he wants to take her to the rest of his colony so they can all experience the gloriousness of the Human Hive. Vanessa is swooned and decides to hop on Barry's back as he flies to the colony, but this was all part of Barry's plan in order to obliterate Vanessa. Barry starts flying at 100 miles per hour past a pole, purposely running Vanessa's noggin into the pole so that it can go bye-bye. Vanessa then becomes unalived and the bee colony is saved. The end. What movie should I spoil next?